Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. Today I want to get into a pair of kicks that I saw pictures of, I think whenever I was looking at the Finish Line app. I almost ordered them, but then whenever I saw them in person at my local Finish Line store, I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger on them. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these oil green Dunk Lows. If you've been into sneakers for the past couple of years, then you're probably well aware of the fact that a couple years ago, Dunk Lows were just about impossible to get for retail, and then on the resale market, they were quite expensive, and things could not be more different now. I love it because you can walk in and, like at my Finish Line, I think there were 4 or 5 different pairs of Dunk Lows, all from the $110, $120 range, and that includes shoes like Panda Dunks, and for a while they were selling for over $300, which I think is insane. The Panda Dunk is not... If you hear all the gunshots in the background, don't worry. I live in West Virginia and I'm surrounded by woods, and people love to shoot guns around here. Sometimes it's me shooting them, so don't worry about that. I am just fine. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Not long ago, somebody made a comment like, is Mr. Butter living in a war zone? And it couldn't be further from the opposite. I just live in wild West Virginia, and I am quite safe here, so don't worry about that. But anyhow, back to the shoes. We got a standard Nike box. Like I said, I saw these on the website. I really like pictures of the colorway, and then whenever I saw the colorway in person, it just confirmed what I thought. They look really, really nice. But we got a regular Nike box, nothing out of the ordinary. The tag reads Nike Dunk Low. The colors are white, light bone, and oil green. On Dunk Lows, I go true to size with the size 10. The weird thing about these is they were $120 US, and I think just about every other pair of Dunk Lows that was in the store was $110. The split Chicago Dunk Lows might have been $120, but most of the GR Dunk Lows were selling for $110. So this isn't an SE, this is just a GR release. I don't know why they'd be $120 versus $110. I also noticed that the Wolf Gray Jordan 13 was $210 at my local Finish Line, and I was thinking about grabbing them and using status rewards, but that extra $10 just kind of made me hold off, and I just figure I'll be able to get them on sale, and I'll probably be able to get them cheaper than what I would even if I used $20 in status rewards to get them at $190 before tax. So I'm just going to be patient on those. This is a time that you don't have to rush out and buy something. It definitely pays off to be patient, and I love getting shoes at a bargain. But anyhow, let's get to the shoes. So here they are, the oil green Dunk Lows. And I guess it also said light bone. I'm guessing the light bone is like that tan or khaki color that we see on the swoosh and then the heel tab. I'm not sure which green is the oil green, whether that's the green on the front of the shoe, like on the mudguard and the tongue, or else if that is the darker green that we see on the outsole and the heel of the shoe. But either way, I love this combination of greens. I really like the way that tan on the swoosh goes with those greens. And I think this is a pair of shoes that would be great for the summertime, but it also look good in the fall as weather starts to cool off and everything. I just think these look really, really good in hand. I saw a couple different pairs of these in the store, and I always look at my pair before I get it, and I didn't see any QC issues with any of them that I saw. Now, that being said, we all know that Dunk Lows are a lot like Jordans. Sometimes you'll see a pair and you just think, how in the world did that ever make it past quality control? But sometimes they ship out some stuff that has a lot of flaws. This pair looks really clean, and every other pair that I saw with these looks really clean. So I'm all about that. One thing that I will say right off the top is these materials are what you would expect on a GR Dunk, meaning don't expect much. They definitely feel synthetic. It's definitely that kind of stiff, hard synthetic leather that will crease. If you care about that, then this is a shoe that you might want to avoid, or else get some of those crease protectors. But I never go to those lengths. I just let shoes crease when I wear them, because shoes crease. I don't know, I get wrinkles in me and I ain't getting plastic surgery, so I'm not going to go get crease protectors for my shoes. But that's just me. I think these look great. I think my first impression, just like whenever I saw them in the store, it was good enough for me to go ahead and buy them in person. I did use status rewards on this pair, so I did get about $20 off of these, which brought them in, I think $106 was what I paid altogether. And I think a nice looking pair of shoes for $100 is a decent price. Materials, like I said, aren't top shelf, but they're pretty affordable, and for that price range, I'm okay with not getting really good materials as long as they look this good. Getting into the outsole, it's a standard Dunk tread pattern, looks a lot like a Jordan 1 tread pattern. This is in a nice dark green color, and it's got Nike branding there at the midfoot, pivot point there in the front, and we've all seen these tread patterns before, nothing out of the ordinary there. Then as you come up the side of the shoe, you can see that that dark green from the outsole meets a bright white midsole, and again, it looks really nice and clean. There's no QC issues. That thread is bright white for the midsole stitching as well, and I just think it looks really nice and clean. Coming up to the upper, we've got this nice lighter green, but it's got a little hint of like a khaki color to it. Like I said, I don't know if that's the oil green or not, but I really like the combination of these two shades of green. This lighter green you can see on the mudguard, and then going up the eye stays. I would comment that it's a thick cut of leather, but it's a thick cut of some sort of synthetic material. Really nothing to write home about, but I think it looks really nice. These will be really easy to keep clean because they'll wipe off really easily, but aside from that, it's not a really high-end material at all, so don't get your hopes up as far as that goes. Like I said before, we've got a khaki or a tan color for the swoosh. I guess that's the light bone, and then we have that for the heel tab as well, and I think that is very nicely accented by that dark green Nike stitching that we have embroidered on. And then we have this shade of darker green wrapping along the heel, and again, I think that looks really nice. We have those rows of stitching like we always get on Dunks, and that's just in bright white. And then we see some bright white synthetic leather on the toe box where we get all those perforations. We see the bright white leather here on the side panels. And again, we see it up here by the collar, and then where we have those rows of stitching. The tongue matches this lighter shade of green, but it's a standard nylon tongue. It feels just like other Dunk tongues. And the piping going along the edges is this light bone color that we have on the swoosh, and I think that's a nice little accent. And then the tag at the top is the darker green, and it's got some white Nike branding on it. They gave us some flat dark green laces, and that green goes with the overlay on the heel as well as with the outsole. But again, I like that contrast up against the lighter green on the tongue. I think it looks very nice. For our sock liner, we see more of that light bone color. I'm glad that that's not bright white, because sometimes it's really easy to get that looking dingy if it's a bright white, but this is actually that tan, and I think that'll help hide dirt or hide stains from jeans and that sort of thing. Then down on our insole, we see that lighter green color along with some Nike branding. But that was a pretty quick look at these oil green Dunk lows. I really like these color combinations. The quality is just like standard GR Dunk lows. But that being said, the QC is really good. There's no really blatant errors or mistakes on these. You don't have glue everywhere or weird stitching mistakes and that sort of thing. I think overall they look really, really good. It would be a great pair for back to school. I think they'd be easy to keep clean, and I think they'd be easy to throw outfits together too. If this was a year ago, these would probably be reselling for like $200 or something. But thank goodness those times are behind us. We're now back into a period where you can walk into a store and actually see good shoes on the shelf. And I am all about that. Let me know if you would wear these, or if that synthetic leather just automatically turns you off from them. Either way, I don't mind. I think they're great looking. But I appreciate y'all watching, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm out.